Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest of video game news that you need to know about. So we are here to do it for you. And remember that this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wobble Plays, alongside, I don't know what's on his shirt, but it looks like something Court.
It's a friend of mine went to Universal Studios during the
Universal.
Halloween season, and he got me this Last of Us shirt because they had that
Oh,
Last of Us thing, and I've totally forgot that it was in my closet, and I was trying to find something to put my PJs on because, as you guys know, when I do this show, I'm wearing my PJs.
That's right. 9 o'clock sharp, bedtime.
Boom.
nothing says Halloween like June 12th.
Well, it's just I found it's a video game shirt, right? It's a gaming shirt, I guess.
It is. That is fair.
My Xbox shirt, it literally that's what I was looking for, and I wore it the day of the showcase. So I was like, all right, I got nothing because let's be honest here, it was video game Christmas this weekend, so I tried to juggle being a parent and watching video game Christmas at the same time.
That's fair. We are also joined by what's on your shirt?
I'm not wearing a shirt. No, I'm kidding. It's my
No earmuffs, but put on a blindfold.
It is
said Joe Mama, like you.
my Defend Boston t-shirt.
Oh,
That is a great shirt.
It's
Achieve.
so old and beat up that it's my PJ shirt. But I
Also,
love it.
can I tell you guys something? So today they
Yes.
put on the tour of the 100-year, the Hall of Fame now that they have at the Boston Garden. We should have went in there. So there would have been a wall that I could press and pull up my dad, and he would have been on this digital wall. Plus, there's a wall of every Bruins name to ever play the game, like a memory wall. And then you could. I screwed up, man.
Let's go back. Let's just go back.
It's that you know what?
PAX East.
It's that
And this time
attendance.
Kurston's coming, and he's not. He's coming to PAX East, and we'll all go together.
Let's go.
And the third, our guest is Kurston Von Doom, the Master Roshi disciple himself.
What up, everybody? Honestly, I'm so excited when Court asked me to come back. I'm like, I'll do it. I'll clear the schedule. Nothing's more important. I'm here for it.
Wipe
Awesome.
it clean. It's go time.
Wax on, wax off.
It's better.
Always.
Like, I love how you say, like, when you clear the schedule. Now, if someone asked me if I was free, I'd be like, almost always. I have
Kirsten,
no obligations.
actually, a couple weeks ago,
Fair
I
enough.
kid you not. I kid you not. The day of the show, Waba messages us. We're talking about what we're going to talk about, and Waba goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to Vermont. I'm going to Maine. I forgot to tell you."
That's good friendship right there.
I told my work, I think 3 weeks before I had my child. It's I don't know. We get to things when we get to things.
You know what?
but-
I once had an employee when I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car that the day his wife went into labor, he got the phone call. He turns to me and goes, my girlfriend's going into labor. I got to leave. And we all turned to him and went, "Excuse me, you're having a baby?" No one knew in the whole thing. We hung out with him all the time.
How it goes.
It
Gotta
happens.
be a man of mystery.
His name
That's my brother.
Waba Plays.
Seriously, eh?
Now, my brother one time he went on vacation, whatever it was, and I think he would have been like 20 or 21, maybe even 19. But either way, told my mom the morning he was leaving, "Oh hey, like I'll be back in like 2 weeks. Go to Mexico." She's like, "You're going where? What's happening?" He had just graduated high school or something like that. So she's like, "Where are you going? Like, how come this wasn't mentioned at all?" "Oh yeah, I bought tickets like 5 months ago." She's like, "Again, wait, what?" That went over well, super well.
He's like, "I don't live here anymore. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want."
Okay, love you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So
Nowadays, if you tell someone you're going to Mexico, you might not come back.
Right.
Fair enough.
So Court mentioned video game Christmas, as it were, and we had a few big events. If you're a video game fan, then you have been loving it. We had the Xbox Showcase since we last recorded, Summer Game Fest, and Ubisoft or Ubisoft, depending on
Okay,
where you reside
hold on.
forward.
Can I ask you, Chris, how do I say it? Because at that showcase, at the Ubisoft Forward, they said Ubisoft and they called it Ubisoft. Two different people that work for the company said it two different ways.
Je ne parle pas français, monsieur.
There, I was gonna
See.
say, is one of
So-
them in French? Is one of them French?
So if I'm in the Belle Provence, it's Ubisoft, and if I'm in Toronto, it's Ubisoft.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the French people say Ubisoft, and then the non-French people say Ubisoft. So
And if you're in America, you say Ubisoft.
If
I
you're in
want
America,
it.
you're
I
gonna
want-
talk about sharks.
I want to hate
Yeah.
the joke, but I can't.
It was pretty
It was
good.
good. It was
What can I
good.
say? I have a decent one. That's my joke for the week. See you guys later. Thank you everybody for
Okay, bye.
coming out. Good night.
He Costanza'd us. He's just like,
Yeah,
what?
you just leave on a high
Basically just see
note.
a
Leave them
blank
on
screen
a.
for the rest of the time.
You leave them wanting more.
So let's start with the Xbox showcase since we have Kurston here.
Well, he also. Anyways, continue. It
well,
doesn't matter.
it's Xbox related. So
Now he's changing because he really thought we were going Summer Game Fest first. I could see it.
do you
on his
want? Well,
computer.
okay.
Why don't you just go in order, dude?
Let me peel behind the curtain. I'm going by the tweet because as everyone may know,
You don't
Pez
pay
and
attention to
Court
things.
will talk in the chat, and then I will show up and act like I know what I'm talking about until I say the famous phrase 2 minutes before when I turn my lights on. Sometimes, what are we talking about today? So instead, I go to the tweet that Pez
That's
puts
a
out, and I go
t-shirt.
in the order of that.
Okay, fine. We'll go in that
Or
order.
we can
You
go
know
in
what?
whatever order.
You know what? I'll say it this way.
I just
Start with the best first because it was probably the most E3 showcase we've had ever since. Not the last
E3?
E3. I would say
I don't
it's since that Ghost of Tsushima expo. Since the launch of the PlayStation 5 and when we got to see all the new consoles. That was the last time we got an E3.
2018, I think?
Xbox gave us an E3 this year. Like that was hype. Like, and we haven't got hype in a long time. And I know a lot of people were like, well, I heard some people on the internet say like we should have got games that we know that are coming out right away. No, I was very okay with finding out games that were coming down the road 3 years from now. It made me feel better about my Xbox Series X that's sitting underneath my desk here. It did.
Yeah, overall,
think-
there's not a lot of stuff that I was like, oh man, I can't wait because like I don't play like a lot of different things, but like all you need to do is find one or two that really speak to you, and that's a success. I think we've talked about it before.
He doesn't play a lot of different things.
I
It's
don't.
like if
I
they don't
mean,
talk
it's
about-
fair. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's honest.
He's not lying. to you.
Yeah.
I
But
think for me,
I-
like for these shows, anytime I see something that I didn't care about, they grab me. That's what always gets my attention. And with the Xbox Showcase, I think there's a game. I think it was Mixtape that came out.
Dude.
Yes.
And so they also made Artful Escape, my game of the year a couple years ago.
What a great
Ooh,
game.
I can't wait for this game.
Like, I trust them with all my heart, and like maybe my future kids, but I really want to play that game really bad.
Same.
And again, that's a game I didn't care about. I didn't even know about, right? So I love seeing those moments, regardless if it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, it might be. But like, show me something I didn't care about, but like now I'm all in.
I'm all in of whatever the PR firm that is handling the release of that game. I want to know who they are because did you hear the soundtrack they announced? It was like so up my alley, Smashing Pumpkins. It's like 90s grunge.
Nice,
Dude,
nice.
Oh my god. Like I'm all over this game. And the art, the art direction that they took in it, like it was my favorite game out of the Xbox Showcase, besides the banger at the very end. But we'll get to that. But like I was so excited because as soon as I watched it, I'm like, they started doing the soundtrack, and I'm like, oh, this is great. It's a lot like the Artful Escape. And then I see who made it. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
there we go. It just all makes sense now. Pez?
It was great. I mean, it was okay, so I was driving home Sunday from lunch. We went out Sunday for lunch, a little bit of
Because it
shopping.
was your birthday.
No, we didn't go for my birthday. My birthday was yesterday, and we went out to dinner post 8th grade graduation for my niece. But yeah, it was,
Shout out niece.
Shout out!
You guys
shout
did
out to
nothing
my
for your
niece.
birthday?
No.
It's so this weekend for Father's Day is a bupkis as well.
Oh, I'm going to a friend's house for a barbecue. I'm going out. We don't. I don't want to do anything on Father's Day. I don't care. Like
Alright.
every day.
You earned it.
Every day is Father's
No.
Day. I truly do not care about Father's Day.
Good. Get me a present then. I care.
My gift to you is my presents. That's what you get.
Oh,
My presence is a gift. You love to see that.
So I got a text from a friend and he said, I can't believe it. It's coming back. And I was like, what is this dude talking about? And then he sent me the link to Gears of War and I freaked out in the car. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, it's happened. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? Like as she's driving, I was like, Gears of War's coming back. And then she shut me off. Shunned me because she has no idea what that is. And for me, I think we talked about last week on the show. Like, I think I was like, just show me Gears of War. Like, that's all I wanted.
Well, no, you said that in Monster Hunter.
And
You got both.
And I got both.
You got both.
Because Gears of War, especially 1, 2, 3, less judgment, but also like for me, I'm a huge Gears of War lore person, so I've read the books. Like I've read all the books. So to know that this was happening at Emergence Day was just I am so excited. Hats, all the hats in the room
So
to
is
the
this
ceiling.
to you guys who more I've played the games, but I do not know the lore. Where is this set in the timeline?
This is before Gears of War 1.
Oh,
So this is
Yeah.
like I think they said like 14 years or something before Gears 1 starts.
So that's before the Pendulum Wars, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, look at you! You guys could like have a nerd off here about Gears of War right now.
I
Um
mean,
He puts the glasses up.
Yeah, you
You've
activated my trap card.
So yeah, so like Emergence Day is the big, it's like the big event. So you'll be going through you won't be going through Locust tunnels, but you'll be fighting them for the first time. And they talked about the Lancer being like the history of the Lancer coming into it. That's the one with the chainsaw.
No,
ver-
that I do know.
very excited, like was super jazzed for that. I just think overall the showcase, because I watched it when we got home, was great. Everyone on the internet always says Xbox, we need first party bangers. Xbox has no first party bangers. And then they just threw out all these first party games, and it was like Fallout 76 is getting a brand new map expansion today.
I
Or
literally
Wednesday.
looked at Fallout 76 and was like, should I download this and jump in? I'm like, it looks good.
It
I
is.
did. It was fun.
It is fun. It is fun. They
And then
said,
we got Dragon Age.
yeah, Dragon Age. You got Fable.
Fable's
You got
amazing.
Indiana
Fable-
Jones. Like you got all
Fable
these
looked good.
first party games, man, that like people have been harping on Xbox for, and now all of a sudden they've rolled out the one that, to use a wrestling term, popped me the most, State of Decay 3.
Really?
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
Because I love State of Decay 2. And I'm really excited for
Oh yeah, you made me play
next-
that game with you. I did not like it.
the next iteration of State of Decay.
So I'm gonna go on a soapbox here before we let Kurston go on all his favorites. I am a huge 80s kid. I love Indiana Jones and all that. I am not as hyped for this game as I once was. It doesn't look that good. Like I'm talking about the cutscenes. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe I gotta play it. I don't know. There look like a lot of jagged edges. I don't know what it is.
It's-
We're so far along in the generation that we see games like, geez, even Mixtape, how beautiful and good that looks. And then when I see Indiana Jones, and I'm just like, the darks weren't that dark, and they were like blending in, and I'm just like, maybe they just picked a really bad thing with being on that ship in the Arctic, and it didn't look that good. But yet when they went to the first person, I have zero issue with the first person. I'll test it out. It's a Bethesda game. It is what it is. Hopefully they patch in a third person so they make it make sense because it's Indiana Jones and I don't get to see his hat or his whip. You know, it's not like they're iconic or anything. But maybe it's that I've had so many issues with Indiana Jones right off the start on how they've rolled this out and how it looks. And it bothers me just a tiny smidge. I'm gonna play it. I know I'm gonna love it because it's Indiana Jones, but a little bit annoyed. But then Fable looked absolutely amazing. I love the voice actors. I love the jokes that they made. Everything about it made me want to play it more and more and more and more. Like it was so well done. Playground Games, they have made probably one of the best games, period, for the Xbox Series X so far this generation for them in Horizon. Forza Horizon. That game's just unbelievable. And this looks unbelievable. I think they've really nailed the aesthetic of Fable. I think they've nailed um the way the dialogue really works and the corniness and the corny jokes that usually you get in Fable. I think they nailed it. I think they did a great job. I'm very looking forward to that. Dragon Age, it looks like something I really need to play real soon, and the fact that we get to play it this year is crazy. Um, that's pretty much what like jumped out to me. Like there was a lot of great things we saw. Like Metal Gear looked good. Like I think Xbox did a very good job on the pacing of the program, and it was just like boom, 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 boom. The only thing that I think that they didn't need to do, and maybe they only did it because they wanted to show people in person, was showing us the consoles. I didn't think they needed to do that. I thought that actually slowed the pace when they were showing us game, 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 game. And then when they went in and showed us the consoles, especially Sarah Bond, of all people, who was talking about game preservation And then she talks about the all digital console. I was like, oof, that's a tough one. Who drew the short straw of letting the person that always talks about game preservation talk about a digital only console? But I don't know. That was my only beef with it. But I truly think out of the 3 shows that we got to see, and I'm not counting the state of play because I don't count those. That's not a showcase.
Correct.
Xbox brang it. Like Call of Duty looked great. Like they brang it. Like it
Ooh,
was well done.
You better have your hard drive wiped for Call of Duty because it is 300 gigabytes.
So, good news about that. Did you see? I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Phil Spencer after. He said that he is making sure that the next Call of Duty. I guess they do that because they're all connected. So all the Call of Duties are in like the same.
A little hub.
And they're getting rid of the hub, and that's what's making it do this. And Phil Spencer looked into it, and he said in an interview that that's not happening. He also said something else in an interview, but we'll let everybody else talk because if anybody else noticed, didn't say console exclusive once on any screen. It always said world premiere. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm surprised on your reaction from Indiana Jones because I will say this: I'm not an Indiana Jones like fan. I don't hate it. I didn't grow up with those movies. I don't even know if I've seen. Understand the story and the character and all that, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you if I've seen them all the way through.
Pez, can you get in your car, drive
I
down
ha-
there,
I-
and drop kick him in the face?
I have them on VHS for stuff anyone wants, but I'm actually more excited the more I see about it. So when it was announced, I would say my hype level is low because I don't have the attachment to that character in the franchise. But the more I see, the more excited I get, and all I can think of is the new Wolfenstein. I think is like the story is so good, and visually, I think it looks very good, and I'm imagining that in this world.
But that's
and
what
that's
I
what
saw.
gets me
But
excited.
that's what didn't get me excited. It looked like it was just Wolfenstein with indie.
It's funny for me. That's what gets me excited because again, I relate more to like the Wolfenstein franchise than I do Indiana Jones. So I'm seeing something kind of more familiar in like a different skin and like a different, a goofier world. Obviously, not like the hyper violent. So
I'm not
Yeah.
dunking on it because I haven't played it. And the great news, the amount of things that they said day and date to Game Pass, like that 33 whatever that was. I'm sure Kurston, I don't even know what that game is that looks amazing.
33 Immortals.
Yes.
What is that?
Jesus.
Sorry, no, Expedition 33. Sorry.
Expedition 33. But they're all day Game Pass, except Dragon Age. But I was okay with that. But Kurston, what was besides mixtape? What was your overall impressions of the whole thing?
Honestly, throwing out the fact that they pay me, I really enjoyed just the way the presentation was like punchy.
Hey, technically, I work with the PR firm. Like that's technically, something.
If anyone wants to pay me, I'm in.
I mean, I'll always take a paycheck, but yeah. Overall, I thought the show was really punchy. I heard people talk about how a lot of the game they showed looked like the same game. I don't entirely agree with that. And though we saw things afterwards of obviously like Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they got their own like little gameplay presentation in their own respective conferences. But I just think that it was here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a date, here's a date, here's a date for the most part. And
then a blog post releasing a date by an accident.
Womp womp.
Yeah, but all in all, like again, like I enjoyed, like it was reminiscent of E3s of past, right? And I think that's what we don't have right now. I do respect what Jeff Keighley is trying to do with Summer Game Fest, though I don't like the fact that it's like a one-man army and he has like total control over everything. I just think that's a little bit odd, and people are okay with that. And obviously,
I don't think they are okay with that though.
It's a weird thing, and it's a weird
Because
relationship.
out of the 3 showcases we saw, Ubisoft Forward and Xbox Showcase in Summer Games Fest, I think we can all agree Summer Game Fest was like
it was weak.
Like, dude, there was mobile games in there. Like, whew.
But he said like
He said it was going to be weak.
Yeah,
and I think that's because everybody wanted to be at the Xbox Showcase.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. I think Xbox, like, think about it. If you Dragon Age, think of all the third-party games that were at the Xbox Showcase that very easily could have been at Summer Games Fest.
Oh yeah.
And PlayStation, they did them a favor. If PlayStation decided they wanted Horizon at the State of the Play, then what does Summer Game Fest have?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. With all that being said, I think that we did a good job. Really impressed with certain things. Again, I knew
Team Green.
Team Green all the way, but I knew something leading into it. But games, I'm really excited after Showcase, like learning more about it, because even though like I have access to all this information, I try to stay away from it because I genuinely love playing games and I want to know. I don't want to know about it. But South of Midnight, I think it's going to be pretty
Oh,
good.
I forgot all about that game. Looks amazing.
Yeah, by Compulsion in Montreal, that game just looks phenomenal across the board. I wasn't a boy who had an N64 growing up, so I have no relationship to Perfect Dark.
Hmm.
Playing it later in life, I think that game is but
Hey, I
that's
had an
the game.
N64 growing up, and I have no relationship to that game and I played
Oh,
it growing up.
I love that game. So the only thing
No,
what I
that
liked
is
about
the
that
most
game,
overrated video game out there.
Yep.
no, it's not the
like
single player.
Ocarina of Time by Zelda. Let's stop it.
You don't play
64 is
the
the
single
worst console
player.
ever.
No, there's a
Sorry, Pez, I
mode.
took a shot there. I'm sorry.
It's endless. So it's like they have it so it's multiplayer, but you don't have to. Obviously, I had a lot of friends, so I played against 4 people, and like I could play multiplayer against the AI for like the first time ever.
But the 64
Because
is garbage. So anything from it, why are we bringing back games from
I'm
the
telling you,
N64?
Perfect Dark, like that game, and it tracked your hours, which I'm not. I God, if I looked into that, I would. I don't want to do the math, but like it was so cool because they, it's they did GoldenEye. GoldenEye, you have to be with people, and there's screen cheating. Womp womp. But then you can put like you and your friend and play against like a whole bunch of bots. It was like a really cool way to like experience like this weird form of like like a true multiplayer game
Well, you didn't
before
watch
it was
Indiana
connected to
Jones
online.
growing up or any. You didn't culture yourself, but for some reason you enjoyed Perfect Dark.
Yeah, it was cool. There's a gun called the
Makes
laptop gun that you
so
could
much
throw
sense.
on the wall and it would automatically shoot your enemies. Game slaps. Story mode in that game, not great, but I didn't play that.
Yeah, man. Some of us like bad games, and that's all right. We push through it, right?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Re Mysterio Fantasio, Court's favorite. Get ready.
I'm more confused than like there was rumors coming into this showcase saying that the game is in rough shape. It didn't look like it was in rough shape at all. What I saw in that thing, that looked great.
Again, we're in this weird. I keep on saying weird, but we're in an era where people online like to dunk on things for the sake of
Oh my
getting their
God.
name out there. So I knew off the bat that that game was not in jeopardy, but it's obviously reassuring to see that the game looked great, looked like it played great. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs of it, but presentation wise, it was solid. It did the job. People are excited. It's revamping the franchise again after was it Perfect Dark Zero on the 360,
Yep.
Yeah.
which it was good for what it was. Again, 360 had a long period.
That was
of
a
just,
launch title, wasn't it?
I think slightly after launch.
First year. That and
First
Assassin's
big
Creed.
title.
Yeah, that and
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed were in the first year.
360 had its own slew of this like miscellaneous shooters, and Perfect Dark happened to like slide into that. So it's good to see another version of it, like 15 odd years later, like made from the ground up, new lore, new mechanics, new engine, new everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to be. I'm looking forward to see if I actually care about it. But as of right now, it has my interest.
But I will say this over and over again. It's now again. I've been saying like Game Pass has been a little soft lately. I'm just like, but I see this lineup and I'm like, it's coming back. Like I see beefy games that make sense to me. I like single player games with oomph in them, and like there's so many games coming to Game Pass where I'm just like, okay, like in the next 2 years, you're gonna always be able to play stuff, and it looks like they're gonna be doing a lot for Starfield as well. Starfield didn't sing to me, but it a lot of people do like that game, and I know Greg Miller. I saw him on the internet, and he was losing his mind that they were putting more stuff to Starfield, and that's what I do appreciate. Heck, I appreciated the fact that they updated Redfall one last time.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. Great showcase. It was just a good
Mhm.
showcase.
I'm stoked
I
for the
do
new Life
have
is Strange. That's gonna be sick.
Look at that. I only have like one issue though. This is a personal gripe with Metal Gear Solid Delta, like Snake Eater. So I really hate the fact that once again Konami is taking the Metal Gear franchise and milking it. Respect to them for bringing back David Hayter to play Solid Snake,
Agreed.
but with the mess that they made with Metal Gear Survive, I really love Snake Eater. Like I truly love Snake Eater. It's like my second favorite Metal Gear game after 4. If this game is bad, I am fighting people with all my strength.
Well, it's very interesting that the first time they showed it was at the PlayStation 1 last year, and it looked bad. Like it looked bad. Like all the pictures we got of it, because it was almost like stills, right? And then we got a little bit of video, but then we saw it at the Xbox showcase, and it looked good. So I'm right there with you, Kirsten, where I'm just like, I'm apprehensive about this game. I want to be excited, I do, but I was playing the new Sly Cooper PS5 version today, and I was like, "Ooh, these controls are terrible."
Yeah, again, I want to be cautiously optimistic because again, Metal Gear Solid is, if not one of my top 3 favorite franchises, period. And I have a lot of love and respect for Kojima, but I just don't like the fact that they're doing this for a paycheck. But I will play
Well,
it. I have to,
eh,
but I don't know, man.
the only thing is, I'll say this: if it works, because remember what Capcom did? Capcom brought all the Resident Evils back, and that was, for Resident Evil fans, they were very happy. And we've been making fun of Konami for a while and saying, "Where's the games? Where's the games? Where's the games?" And they're just like, "We don't care. We don't care. We don't care." And if this works, they're going to remaster all of them. So it's almost like, please make this good. So then we get the rest of them.
I think that's what they're trying to do anyway with the collection that they're putting out. I know that they're trying to put all the games on every platform. For example, sorry, Metal Gear Solid 4. They didn't port that to 360 because they just didn't have the time for it, and Kojima just said, "Forget about it. We're not doing it." So if people are able to experience that game that they couldn't do it before and actually play 1 to 4 straight, that's something cool they can do. Because I think every collection that comes out has always been 1, 2, Peace Walker, and 5. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, Peace Walker, and 5. Never 4. So again, I hope that that's a thing. Again, video game preservation, bringing back franchises that are locked offline somewhere. I'm all for that, but do it right. Don't do it like snakily and charge $100 for it.
And then one final thing, but Kirsten, you can abstain if you want. I wanted to talk about Phil Spencer's comments that he spoke about these games coming to other consoles. I took from his comments that a lot, so like Doom right away, like if you saw PlayStation put out their tweet within seconds and was like, it's coming to PS5. They didn't put that in the showcase, but PlayStation putting out the tweet, heck, PlayStation dropped Call of Duty in their store and ruined that whole thing. That's hilarious. But it sounds to me, and this is just my opinion, that a lot more games, and probably more than half of the games that we saw that are first party from Xbox in that showcase, are coming to either Switch 2 or the PS5.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I
It's fine.
mean,
I knew this would be the one section where it's like you
I
can't say
mean,
anything.
when you look at Sea of Thieves and Grounded coming to other consoles, why would their business plan change now?
Sea of Thieves is the #1 game on the PS5 right now.
Sea of Thieves slaps, and I can't wait for season 13.
And in fact, they brought out the numbers. Sea of Thieves sold more on the PlayStation 5 than its lifespan on the Xbox.
It's an install base too.
People
That's
play good
amazing.
games. People play good games.
The game is amazing. And I am truly the one, and I've always been this way. I play on whatever console. I don't care about exclusives. I wish they could just be on everything, especially so we could all play it together, because there's nothing better than all your buddies being able to play the game and being all in the same conversation.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, 100%. Also, quick interjection. You know the Sea of Thieves controller on the Xbox is like $1,000.
What?
Really?
Come on.
Because no one bought it. It's that purple one. That thing is
Oh, damn.
slap.
Wow.
Wob is gonna hold on. I'm gonna try and
Wob
go
is
on
going to
Facebook.
eBay right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wob is gonna try and get it.
It
Wob,
goes from like
we're doing a show
400
here,
to like
Pat.
a grand. It's insane how popular that
That's-
controller is.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Oh, okay. I mean, dude, these prices makes no sense.
Wob is like, I'll figure
165,
it out.
200. Are they selling it brand new for that? What's it actually selling for?
Wob is gonna try and figure this one out.
I am
Yep.
400 on bid.
I'll just look at it this way. I do like the fact that PlayStation has had, and they did it. They've said it. Every game moving forward that's a multiplayer game is going to come to PC day and date, which I truly appreciate. I still think there's a world where those games, including Helldivers 2, mark my words, Helldivers 2 will launch on the Xbox Series X next year. I still think that's going to happen. And I think that there's going to be this kumbaya finally between the three of them, where they all just were like, okay, we're going to have our first party exclusives, and those will hit our console for a year, and then you get them after. I think there's deals happening that we don't know about, because I actually like what we're getting now. I like the fact that Xbox, Phil Spencer's openly saying, hey, I have zero issue putting our games on any console. And because he can still say the game's coming day and date on Game Pass. So if you want to play on Xbox, you get it on Game Pass day and date. But if you want to play it on your console, it's there, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Of course they would want that. There's more people with PlayStations than not.
Yeah, but there's more people playing the game. Like I was saying before, when a first party game, a single player game comes out, it's awesome to call your buddies and be like, "Hey, this is where I am in the game," or blah blah blah, and be in that conversation. If we can all be in it, I'm not saying Gears is coming out on the PS5, but You never know.
I like the
Anyways.
idea of
Anyways.
idea of games going elsewhere. Again, like it's like it helps communities come together and
Mhm.
have that conversation with your friends. You're playing on Switch, you're playing on PlayStation, things like that. I'm all for that. When you have games like what was it? Drawing a blank right now, but we'll use Helldivers for example. Like that when that game came out, PC and PS5 players like, yo, we need our Xbox guys, we need Xbox in here, we need more help, whatever it is, right? It's like the community rallying together to get more people to play the game. And
Yeah,
I
they
think the more
wanted
people that play,
Xbox people.
yeah, more people playing the game is not a loss for anybody, right? And again, speaking profit wise, put it on another console, you get more money, right? End of the day, like make it make money sense.
Yeah.
Well, look at PlayStation. They saw the numbers for Helldivers and they were like, Concord, day and date on PC. Like, did anybody see that happening from the state of play when they're like, day and date, it's on PC? Like, they're just like, nope, we've changed. Just like Phil Spencer decided a year ago, whenever he made that decision, he's like, we're going to put our games everywhere we can. I originally said we weren't, and then I can guarantee you the success of Sea of Thieves has made them go, hey, we like money.
I don't think
Like,
it would have that same success though if it was all at launch. So I think,
really?
well,
PlayStation
think about it.
people,
You have a
that's a
resurgence.
big install base, dude.
It doesn't. I don't think it matters about the install base. So you have people who play a game, and then you have like basically the FOMO effect, in my opinion, of people seeing other people enjoy something and they can't play it. So you have the people who basically the early install base, like the early adopters, they play it, they enjoy it, they put a lot of hours into it, and then they find something else because you can't just play a whole game unless you play NHL all year. And then it goes to a
Who
new
in the hell
console.
would ever do that?
I know, right? But then it goes to a new console, goes to Sony. So what happens? Now you have the Sony people who've been begging to buy this game because not everyone can get all the consoles or whatever. And now it brings everybody back. And now you might even have people on the old console that want to go and play with their friends, or they see like this whole basically it's like a new wave. And you're going to see that with Helldivers. So we saw a huge launch, PC and PS5. It was the big thing. They kind of, they had other challenges. They're having other challenges, whatever it is. Definitely the interest in it is going down. But when it goes to Xbox, you're going to see a huge, all the sales go
He's
because
right.
of the people who haven't had it. And then you're going to have more PlayStation people get into it because they want to play with their friends on Xbox who now, can play it. So I think the tiered, like the delay approach is going to be so like powerful in the future. If you put it all in the beginning, you're not going to basically have that free marketing. Yes, you're gonna forfeit some initial sales, but you don't need help with the initial sales.
Yes, but I will say this. Out of the 4 games that Xbox put onto the PS5, only one was successful. Grounded, which is a good game, it 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 got grounded.
Grounded doesn't speak to
Pentiment,
everybody.
I
Like
I don't disagree. Pentiment, which didn't speak to me, but Xbox players loved it when it came out, it didn't sell well at all.
it has to be a game that like Grounded. It's a base builder. It's not for
I'll
everybody. I
say
know it's
this,
not for me.
if the
Like Sea
rumor
of
is
Thieves, I
true,
didn't play it, but
I'm not
I still
disagreeing
think
with
you
your
can jump
theory,
into it. Yeah.
but if they drop Halo, like everybody seems to all the insiders keep saying, it's gonna be huge. It'll be the number 1 selling game. I guarantee they do 10 million copies in the first year
And if it has online, you're gonna see. I
on
mean,
PlayStation.
if it has
Anyways,
online, they make
let's
it's gonna
let's
be even
let's
more.
move on because I
All right,
wanted to talk about Summer Games Fest,
Summer Game Fest.
and there's not many games to talk about on that side because Ubisoft will end with because I think there was some awesome games shown there. But I wanted to talk about the fact that PlayStation announced a game, not only a game, in conjunction, whatever. They joined with the Lego people and they made Lego Horizon. They made Alloy hilarious. Like she was hilarious in that trailer
It
because
gave her
a lot.
personality.
Yeah, thank you. Because she didn't have one before. But they also said it's dropping on Switch, and I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Wild.
I love that because the Lego games are so fun.
Oh,
Whether you're
so good.
playing with like your kids, playing with your friends, playing with your homies, whatever that might be, you can pick up that game at any age and play it. And again, they took an annoying thing like Aloy having no personality and made her hilarious. Now it's co-op, and it exists in the world of Horizon, but it's also a little bit different. So it's familiar but different. So same but different. And now you're dropping it on the Switch, so now more Switch people are going to be able to play a really great game. We know it's not going to be bad. It's going to be a solid 8.5, 9. I
Yeah,
guarantee you.
they always people can complain about the Lego games all they want, but they're always good.
Always.
People who hate Lego games just aren't happy in life.
Fair. I love the fact that they put Aloy in a banana suit in the trailer.
Yeah, like things like that are hilarious.
And they put like world building in it. They're saying like you can build like a base and you can put like a Ferris wheel and like a hot dog stand and all that kind of stuff. they're taking the world horizon. They're going to be probably, and this is just my guess. They're going to be like, here's the story. You can do that, but there's so much potential with this that PlayStation can actually do and build upon and be like, well, why don't we do this level? Like what they're doing with Astrobot. Like we saw Astrobot from the State of Play.
Mhm.
They can turn Astrobot into a Mario Galaxy if they want, but they can turn Lego Aloy into a cash cow of Lego sets. Because my daughter watched the trailer with me and she literally turned to the TV and goes, because we have the tall neck, and she goes, "Ooh, I can't wait for the sets to come out." And I looked at her and I was like, "You were smarter than me," because that's what I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to play this game." But you were probably thinking the exact same way PlayStation's thinking. I can't wait for this game to come out and sell sets.
1000%, and that's
Yep.
a very smart marketing tactic.
It's so smart. I didn't even like, and my 7.5-year-old was the one who thought of it. I can't even take credit for it. That was instantly the first thing she said to me. I can't wait to buy the sets. I was like,
It's so funny.
oh,
I think it was Nick Cannon that said this of all people when he was talking about his success. He said you have to market to 12-year-olds because those are the people who are going to be most influential when it comes to sales and buying products. So the fact that Gorilla said, "Yeah, let's make this Lego game with Lego, and then we're going to potentially, we all know they're probably going to make Lego sets."
100%.
That's going to be the ad driver, right? How do you
Mhm.
plus up the sale? Buy the $90 game, buy the $200 Lego set on top of
Dude,
that.
Lego
Yep.
sets are expensive. I got that cat that my daughter put together. That thing is not cheap.
Better off getting a real cat for that price.
No, I have 2 real cats and they suck, man. My 2 cats suck. They're not like, I grew up with cats. My cat that we had that he died of cancer. He was a great cat. And then my wife instantly 2 days later got these 2. These things are terrorists. They're terrible. They eat things. They eat cardboard. They suck, man.
Oh,
They
yes.
suck.
Stick to
They
Lego
suck.
cats.
They
Then.
suck almost as bad as Summer Games Fest. That part, because that was
Bang.
just
Damn.
oof.
Dang.
Let's be honest. Jeff Keighley did try and he pulled the hey, it's not going to be anything. But did anybody expect what wasn't there 3 mobile games?
Something
Like
like
it
that.
was
Yeah.
bad.
It was not good. It was not good.
It was bad.
Well-
People were grasping at straws to try and like that thing.
Yeah, it was copium. I think the reason why is because the ad space is so expensive. It's because he chooses to put on this big event that costs a lot with like a production crew, with everything that's going on. You have to make up that cost somehow. So how are you going to do it? You're going to sell 30-second ad spaces for $125,000. Now there are two things, like the big AAA studios could do it, but they can just do their own thing for free. Like, Xbox, why would they go there? Then they're just doing their own, which is better. Same with PlayStation. They're not going to spend money
And
on
plus
this.
all that, like EA and them already had marketing deals with Xbox. So like, so why would I
Yeah.
pay to go to Summer Games Fest when I can just
And
throw my thing up for Xbox?
And all the smaller studios that could benefit from it, one, are just quote tweeting his tweet with the things getting free publicity. 2, they've been bought out. Or 3, unfortunately, this year with the layoffs, it would be such a bad look for a company to do that and then be like, yeah, we can buy the ad space instead of like retain 2-3 people. So like, it's just not a good time to do it. Why? I don't understand why it's not just digital. Like, he could basically get better quality content. But instead it's choosing to be, it has to be this big in-person event. And even to like temper expectations, I think it just seems like
The Game
Kurston, you said
Awards
it
is a
before, it's all up to him,
bigger
so he's
event.
making choices. If you had a room full of people, you could get differing opinions and maybe say, like, maybe we should do a direct, maybe we should do a digital one, maybe we shouldn't bring all these people in and have this giant event that needs money and charge people $500,000 for a minute and a half ad.
How much were tickets to go to this thing, Kurston, for the people that paid?
I don't know actually, but based on how much tickets were for the Game Awards, could be onwards and upwards from like 75 to 200.
Oh,
Oof.
that's
Oof.
and that's US. Oof.
Yeah, freedom dollars hit different. So
That's damn
Especially here in
straight.
Canada. Oh man.
Freedom.
but here's my issue with Jeff Keighley, and publicly I don't like the guy, but he's trying to mimic the same show twice a year.
Yes.
Like you have the Game
Good point.
Awards, which is now again it's Trailer Fest plus like a couple awards here and there. Now you have Summer Game Fest, which is supposed to be the E3 killer. E3 killed itself. We all know that.
Mhm.
But you're not going to get the same essence of E3. What made E3 great was people in the same building, like-minded individuals like ourselves, celebrating games, right? Sure, it was a gigantic song and dance, which inevitably like kicked itself, but it was that excitement of playing new games, being with your peers, and being grateful to be in this community, right?
Mm-hmm.
GameFest is not that. Summer Game Fest is a glorified, hey, look, I have money. I know all these industry people. Let me show you all my rich friends and all the games that they have, right?
That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't really mess with it, because there's no heart in it. Again, not to say that E3 was that. E3 had booth babes for far too long and its own issue that it had, but E3 still had heart in like the community of gaming. Summer Game Fest lacks that severely, and I don't think we're ever going to see it. I am happy though that he's taking some notes from what people are giving him backlash for. For example, no women on stage, or like one woman on stage last year at the Game Awards. No women of color speaking last year. Now they had the one woman of color speaking this year. So there are things that are getting better. But again, those are all reactionary. Nothing has been proactive.
Well, I always say, as a Canadian, there's a lot of famous Canadians that are so proud. I have never met a famous Canadian so not proud to be Canadian as Jeff Keighley. That
Yep.
man wants to be American from LA, and Kojima's underwear so
Best
badly.
friend.
It's unbelievable. No, underwear. He wants to be in there. He wants to be cupping those balls.
Those solid snakes, if you will. Hi everyone, my name is Pez. I just broke the podcast. Great to see you all
me
today.
lie in the first sentence of the stream.
Oh my goodness.
I'm right there with you, Kurston, because like I look at like famous Canadians like Ryan Reynolds or like even Justin Bieber, for God's sakes.
Hey,
They
Bobby L.
exude, they exude that they're Canadian.
They go to bat for
I-
their country. And like, not to
Yeah.
say that we have to do that every single time, right? But like,
But go to bat for your people, like Canadian content creators. You treat them like they're dirt on a shoe.
yeah, worse than that.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
it just
he
feels
sucks.
like, you know, E3 died and Keighley was like, I can just jump in and run this, and then it just every year it has gotten worse. And then to really, you know, it's a Summer Games Fest, but you're also putting out like animation trailers like for TV shows and stuff. It's like, this isn't really, you're just filling time because you have to fill time.
Yep.
And I've also never been the biggest fan of him because it doesn't feel like he's genuine in what he wants to do. That I'm always like, I'm not gonna watch a Game Award show. I'll just, you know, I'll pay attention to the Three Dads chat and Quote will tell me all the games coming out, and then I'll go look them up on YouTube. Because like, I don't, much like Summer Games Fest, I just don't want to give this guy my time and attention because it feels like he's just trying to use it to get a bigger status in gaming or in Hollywood or whatever.
Period, I think. And on top of that, again, like showing movie trailers, TV trailers, does that at Gamescom, does that at the Game Awards. That has nothing to do with gaming. Again, you're just talking to your rich celebrity friends and like doing them a solid, oh hey, like we'll give you free ad space if you promote like Rebel Moon or whatever it was last year at Gamescom.
Right.
But like, let's talk about game. Let's give the indie person a shot. Let's talk about
Do what PAX
more
does.
things.
PAX
Yeah.
is about the games, man.
And that's why PAX has survived for so long. I think that at this point in time, the worst E3 is still better than these last few years Summer Game Fest.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. Kirsten's right.
I just don't think he's a great presenter, and that's not like his. And again, that's like
You
an
could do
knock on
better,
him
Lava.
personally. I spend my weekends negotiating, but like he like I appreciate how I don't like awards on things, but I appreciate how they highlighted some of my favorite games that were very like personal to me, and like it got the name out there. Like for example, Space for Me on Sea Stars, love those games. Like it gave them that, but I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by the way they like treat things like that. Like notice when it, like those presenters, and like it's not like, hey, we're gonna do this big presentation. It's kind of off to the side, right? And it's like, oh, like, you know, and the winner is so and so. Like, congratulations to that. It's like it's literally like you're trying to get through things on a teleprompter. There's no emotion, and it doesn't seem like they care. Like, get people who are passionate about these different like awards or these games, people who like understand it from the community, or people like in the industry who like know what these games are, who have played them, and like have them talk about them instead of like bringing up people that like aren't really good presenters as well. Like, you know, he'll highlight somebody and they just go off the rails, or just I see that a lot in like award shows where like, you know, like the throwaway ones are like the ones that like you basically just read, and it shouldn't be a throwaway one because these awards and stuff matter to these studios and the fans. like a lot. Like you should see how many like well you guys do, but like how many of these indie studios were like promoting the Game Awards, and then to just kind of be like this like write off even if you won. I don't appreciate that as like a fan of these games, and I don't know
Heck,
if
the
the
Game
studios
Awards,
appreciate that
half
too.
the awards were given off screen.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like it shows the treatment. Why do it if you aren't going to put in the effort, or is it just to say you did? Like you don't need to check boxes. Stick to what you enjoy, and it will be a better event for everyone.
But speaking of checkboxes, Ubisoft did a Ubisoft Forward, and they are the kings of checking boxes in a video game. Like honestly, but I thought the Ubisoft Forward event got two of my three. It one, the Division 2 was shown, and we got a new season. And for the people that have never played the Division 2, you can now buy the game. It's like $12 in the PSN store here in Canada, $13.49. It is. I think it is on Game Pass. I'm almost positive it's on Game Pass on Xbox. And they give you all of the DLC that's been out for the last 6 years, all of it for free, plus all the weapons and all the excursions and manhunts that you can do to get all the great weapons. All of it is for free. So if you go into the Division 2 right now, you get everything for free in this game. I couldn't believe it. I hopped into the Division 2 and I've been playing it since everything went live yesterday. For 2 days in a row, I'm getting put in a queue to get into this game. This hasn't happened to me since launch.
Honestly,
There
Division 2 was like
Sheesh.
one of the best games they've put out in a very long time.
I
Like
love that game.
I think the game didn't get enough love, and I guess this is a thank you to the fans because the next game got canceled. So
Yeah,
this
I
is
think
like,
so too. I think it's like, hey, go play this game because the fact that there's a queue happening right now, I'm just everybody go play the game. Go look it up. I just saying I suggest if you like that type of cover shooter and you can play with your friends because I am actually in shock when I'm pressing like I need help because people are hopping in right away. Like
Really?
instantly. Oh yeah, instantly. People are coming in to help you. Like if you're trying to take down an mission or anything like that, or trying to take down a bounty, people are hopping in right away. As soon as you call for help, people are hopping in,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Love to see
But
it.
I will also say in that showcase from the Ubisoft Forward, I got to see finally the Assassin's Creed game that I really wanted. We've seen a lot of Xbox showed a little bit of a trailer, PlayStation showed a bit of a trailer, but all we've really seen is just CGI trailers. We finally got to see, even though they said in the Xbox One we're showing this gameplay, I was like, you showed us cutscenes. Please stop this. When we finally got to see the combat styles for Assassin's Creed Shadows, I loved it. Finally, we get to crawl in an Assassin's Creed. Think about this. We've always been able to crouch. We finally get to crawl in Assassin's Creed and go underwater and breathe. Like, wow. I am so hyped for this game. It's unbelievable. And then we got to see Star Wars Outlaws, and we got to see a ton of Star Wars Outlaws. And
Mhm.
then friends of ours, Steve Igvari and Steve Sale, they got to play it, and they've told me this game is amazing. I made a joke that it's Assassin's Creed in space, and they were like, "You're not far off, but it's also got guns." I was like, "All right, I think I'm 100% in." I think it's supposedly they've nailed it. They've nailed the what it's like to play a Star Wars video game a lot akin to like Jedi. Like when you play Jedi Knight, that game's amazing and it makes you feel like you're playing a Star Wars story. And from everybody that's played this game, all say that they felt like they were playing a Star Wars story as playing this game.
I think Ubisoft always brings it. Partial bias because
Same. Hey, dude, I never worked for them and I love them.
likewise, and like, oh, I work for them. I just love them. But no, I feel like seeing early things of Assassin's Creed Shadows before I left look great. Outlaws though is looking like the most non-Ubisoft game in the last decade. Which I think is great. Outside of obviously like Mario Rabbids and the what's it called, the Prince of Persia Crown Prince or whatever the hell it's
I
called.
don't even. I didn't mention Prince of Persia because they showed that weird Sand of Time thing that they didn't need to show, and I was just like, that was a bit weird.
I have thoughts and feelings about that game in particular, but we will wait for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like I think Ubisoft played it safe as they always do, checking boxes. They did what they have to do, and they gave us a lineup of games that look solid. Very Ubisoft, obviously, very safe as always, but can't complain. They're giving us games and they look good.
Yeah, like Avatar was. I didn't like that game. Skull and Bones. I didn't like that game. Crew Motorfest, really like that game. Assassin's Creed, like I'm so in. and Star Wars I'm so in. But I think you're right. But I will say this before I let Pez or Waba speak. No Splinter Cell kind of pissed me right off. I'm not gonna lie, I was very pissed off. We
I'm not
know the
surprised
game
at all.
exists. You show me that terrible Santa Sime thing. You can't even just give me the lights in the eyes. Just give me something, man.
But we
Pissed.
got it already.
No, we didn't get it. I wanted it there. I wanted something. Give me more. I know. I have. Technically, this Ubisoft Forward was to show Star Wars, and I think they did a great job. And I think you're bang on, Kurston, when you say that it's the most non-Ubisoft game. It felt like I was looking at a Naughty Dog game. That's what I thought I was watching on the screen.
When does the remastered version come out?
But one thing I will say about Star Wars, I don't know if people were catching, they alluded to that they're going to be able to have so much DLC content for this game. It's going to be unbelievable because you're just a bounty hunter and you're a scavenger and you're looking for you're stealing stuff all the time, right? So you can just take jobs from anybody. So they can bring in any part of the Star Wars world for you to come in and be hired by them. So I expect a lot from this game.
Waba, your thoughts?
No, I think the Star Wars game looks great. Like again, I want to know more about like where it's located in the timeline. I know I mentioned
We
there's-
already know that it's in between Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so but isn't the
Han
isn't
Solo is in Carbonite. That's all you
isn't the
need to know.
droid you have also like a Trade
You don't have a
Federation
droid.
No, the big one, like your partner. Isn't he like a modified like Trade Federation?
Your partner
droid?
is a little fluffy little dog.
No. There's a big one that we saw in like other.
Yeah, they didn't show that in the newest trailer, so that might not even be there anymore.
Oh, yeah, good point. I don't know. I'm interested to see like how they like loop in like tie in the stories. And I'm
It's
curious to
canon.
know,
They've already said it's canon.
like in how like in what places, like are they going to draw off some of like the new shows they have? Are they going to draw off like some of the stuff in like the parks? Like are they going to draw off like some of like the other video games that have been put out? I think it's
You're not going to
interesting.
see Cal Kestis because Cal Kestis, correct me if I'm wrong, he's between the last. No, he's Cal Kestis. Where's he on the timeline?
I'm actually
He's-
not sure.
He's before Empire Strikes Back, is he not?
No, he could be in there because there's characters that are in that he sees and faces that would be in line with.
No, because Cal
The original trilogy.
Kestis. No, it can't be because Cal Kestis is the same as Mandalorian because his droid shows up in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, Cal
I'm gonna
Kestis
Google
lives
this.
through
It
Order
might not be his droid. It might be like one like it.
No, they already said the droid in Mandalorian is Cal Kestis' droid. That's why everybody got mad when we didn't see it. more.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna do spoilers for. Have you guys? Can we talk spoilers about those games? I don't want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, who
Okay,
cares?
you guys okay with that? Okay. So there are cutscenes with Darth Vader. Darth Vader can't live. I mean, forever. So obviously,
is-
Yeah, Cal
timeline.
Kestis is before the newest movies, 100%.
It
Yeah,
is.
no, the newest movies, but he should be in the line of the original trilogy.
It is between 3 and 4.
And
Yeah,
also
so
too, there's
Technically, Cal Kestis during the Clone Wars.
yeah, and there's a bounty. Not during. He would be after because he faces
After,
off
'cause
against stormtroopers.
Darth Vader.
And also too, there's a cutscene if you follow the bounty hunter path in the second game. Boba Fett shows up, so he's in line with this original trilogy. And if
So
this
you're
takes
right.
place
Cal
during them,
Kestis could
it
show
is
up
all
in
in the
this game.
same world, and not just him, but the fact that it could be like side characters, or it could be like the what is it, like it's Seven Sisters or whatever. Like,
Well, no, we
th-
already know that
there's other
the
things that like
Knights
they
of
can pull
Ren,
from-
the Knights
yeah,
of Ren are in this game because we saw them in the trailer. You
but there's
saw
things
that,
they
right,
can pull- There's
Kirsten?
things they can pull
Knights
from.
of Ren are there.
Yeah, and also seeing that people are saying that Jedi Survivor takes place alongside the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, so Order 66 has already happened, and so it has to be between episodes 3 and 4. That makes the most sense.
Yes, it's between episodes 3 and 4 because Solo's in Carbonite, right? That one mission when you go into Jabba's hut, Solo's in Carbonite. So the Knights of Ren are there. That means Kylo Ren's not even freaking born yet. So they're not even called the Knights of Ren. What are they called then? I don't even know. They're before the Knights of Ren. They're like the bad Jedis.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know
that's
enough
what I
of
think is
that.
interesting. It's that type of integration, because if these go alongside, it's not just borrowing from the other games, but it building alongside. Like now you can kind of like shape. I don't know if they would go this far. And
Well, they
especially,
worked
like,
with
different
Disney on
developers.
this. They
So
worked
if
with
they're working
Disney.
with Disney, it's the main point because like you have like EA, UB, and like here. So like if they're doing that, they can basically create their own path and like you can start to see things in this new game that maybe would appear later, or maybe like drive some of that story.
Well,
I
they
just think it's really cool.
And they could also use the game to have parts of the story that we remember and put it in the game just for fun, just to be like, see, that's happening right now, right in front
Yeah.
of you. You just don't even realize it.
Yeah, and God, I don't know like if there's like been ones like that before, like where they basically are retcon like a fast game,
Well,
but like
they-
that would be really cool if they
Jedi-
show up in the
if you
same
think about
place
it,
and something's happening alongside.
the first Jedi was not originally canon. And then after it, and we all thought it was one of the greatest Star Wars games we've ever played, they were like, okay, it's canon. And if you go to the next Star Wars game, like you just said, they put Boba Fett in it. They put characters in the next one because Cal Kestis is now Star Wars canon. Like he's a Star Wars he's a Disney princess. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you can buy his lightsaber in the park, and hopefully they'll be able to add some more things like this. You'll be able to buy like a little shoulder
has
thing
his
of the little
lightsaber
fur guy.
behind him. Oh, he's
You
right in
got
front of
it!
him.
Well, technically
Beautiful.
it's not his, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so I was physically in a room while Kurston was giving one of these away, and I did win a very cool prize, but I was extremely my prize was more expensive than that, and I was so disappointed I didn't win that.
That thing is so cool. But
And
yeah,
I said to the person who won, I was like, I'll trade you. And the person was like, really? And then the person that gave me my gift, because it was their company, kind of gave me the look. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I wasn't kidding, man. I felt so bad. I wanted that damn thing so badly. Just want to be able to hold it, man. I would put a hilt in that thing all day long. Oh,
It's nice. I can't lie.
I remember when you unboxed that on Twitch. I was very jealous. Very jealous. But in all, I thought Xbox killed it. Ubisoft Forward was Ubisoft doing Ubisoft. Like they showed us everything. As much as people want to get on Ubisoft, you can get on them for, treating their employees like garbage. You can do that. But dunking on them for their games all the time is the most hilarious thing ever, because guess what game sells more than any other game besides Grand Theft Autos when it comes out? Assassin's Creed, every single time. Every Assassin's Creed that drops is always setting a record for beating the other Assassin's Creed. And that's crazy because they always set records for beating every other game that year. So I have no doubt Assassin's Creed Shadows right now is already the #1 pre-ordered game for this year.
Really?
And yes,
Oof.
Assassin's Creed has a fan base, and I'm one of them, man. Like I'll play every single game that comes out, even Rogue, and it was not good. People kind of say it is, but they're lying because that game sucked. Liberation was okay, but Rogue sucked. But our Outlaws, I got what you said at the very beginning of the show, Wabba. You said as long as we watch these shows, you get a couple games. I got like 15 games that I want to play between Xbox and Ubisoft, and the one game from Summer Games Fest for Lego Horizon. I got a lot of games I
The
want to
only
play.
game from like Summer Game Fest is Lego Horizon. I didn't care about anything else except for like the Alan Wake DLC. That's really cool. But again, that's just DLC, not a new game.
Supposedly that takes like an hour to finish.
I believe it.
I still haven't played that
DLC
game,
was
man.
quick.
It won't go on sale for less than 15% off is not enough. $100 for a video game is way too much money nowadays.
That's why I pick and choose my battles for gaming, because I know, like, obviously Game Pass is great, but there's games that aren't on Game Pass I really want to play. So, for example, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I would love Final Fantasy, so I bought that this year. So I'm budgeting to buy 1 or 2 more games this year because I don't want to spend $100+ every other month. But
Agreed. That's the
There's-
beautiful about Game Pass. Like the meme is allowed to be back again, where the guy's just eating all these great games, because Game Pass is about to, by the end of this year, they're gonna have what, 4 bangers, that's not including Call of Duty.
Yep.
There's one
And
game.
we all know that every single Call of Duty game, when Call of Duty launches, I'm gonna call it right now. That's what they're gonna do. The month before Call of Duty launches, they will put every Call of Duty onto Game Pass so you can get all ramped up for Call of Duty.
Really excited about that.
It's gonna be
Kirsten, there's
smart.
one game I wanted to ask you about that wasn't announced during GameFest, but the other two won't care about it. Hunter, as a fellow fighting game fan, as a fellow anime fan, Hunter, Nen X Impact.
Holy shoot! Yeah, that was okay. So
Dude, I saw the roster and I'm like, you mean I get to
Wild.
fight as like Killua, as like Hisoka? And then
Who
they
are
had
you
a
talking
Bisky
about?
trailer. Sheesh.
So Hunter x Hunter is a anime that's fantastic, which is coming
One
back
of the
soon.
best.
Coming back finally, and
It
I think
is.
it's next year. But either way, really amazing. Everyone should watch it. But that game looks great. Typically, anime fighting games are of the style of like Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm type of thing. But this one looks good. This one looks
Arxis.
really good. Yeah, they don't do bad things. They
Yeah.
never do.
But yeah, this roster, it says it's only going to be 16, but like then we're going to get like Kite and like all this like
It'll be
characters
big.
who are really cool in the show that like maybe like you didn't get to see a lot of. But when I saw that announced and when I knew you were coming on, I'm like, yeah. So I'm excited to see this game streamed on the Xbox Canada Twitch. Whenever
It will
this is.
happen. Like
Let's go.
one thing I love about that is that I have a very strong bias to the things I want to play because I want to play what I want to play.
Mhm.
For example, like last week we did a whole like fighting game week, so I just played all of my favorite fighting games for a week, and it was fantastic. We did some giveaways, so you best believe you're gonna see the Hunter x Hunter stream like day one.
I'm so excited. Let's get some Phantom Troop in there. Here we go. But yeah, so yeah, if you don't know what we just said, that means you're not a degenerate, and I'm proud of you. If you do, one of us. Thank you for coming to our anime corner.
Your Hunter
See,
talk.
This is honestly the best part of you being on is usually this is something I would talk about by myself, and they would just make fun of me. So to have somebody who understands the weird names I'm throwing out there,
We wouldn't even let him
You're
talk
okay.
about it. He would just get the lube. He would just get the lube and go in the bathroom by himself and talk to himself.
they just mute my mic.
I mean,
But-
it's no Mana Ray Recharge 4. Am I right, Waba?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
What was that game called? Mordecai?
Oh, did you? Hey,
Me-
Pez, did you see
me-
that Monster Hunter just hit PlayStation Plus?
Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, baby.
Yeah.
Metaphor Refantasio.
That's right. Metaphor Refantasio.
I'm telling you guys, that game is going to be so popular. You guys are going to wish you were that cool. Okay.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're going to wish you were that cool to experience Metaphor Refantasio.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Get ready.
You and Kurston are cool, and me and Pez are not.
Nope.
Don't
That's
worry
right.
about it.
I knew that. I knew
right.
that a long time ago.
That's right. Lie to me. Any final thoughts for the folks from anyone?
Honestly, what it starts not next month, the month after. We're gonna have so many video games to play. It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be. And honestly, if you have an Xbox and you don't right now, I looked it up. You can get them for like $300 right now on Facebook Marketplace. Go get one. Put that extra 100 that you got left that you didn't buy it new in the store, and go get Game Pass, and you have every game you need for the rest of the year.
That's bundling
It's
gaming, baby.
Stupid.
I
This
would-
year
I
they'll
would
have
get it
every
new.
game. They will. Like every game that got announced, they were like Game Pass, World Premiere, Game Pass. I was just like, geesh.
Do not buy consoles from Facebook Marketplace unless you want a non-zero chance of opening up a box of bricks.
And also, well, no, I disagree with you there, but maybe that's in the United States. Maybe in Canada we're a little different. The Ubisoft games that you saw, if you have Game Pass, you'll get them the next year because that's where those drop.
Pretty consistently.
Yes.
Excellent. Pez, any final thoughts for the folks?
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds look dope, and I can't wait to play the demo in August.
That was at the State of Play, wasn't it?
The one thing I cared about is state of play.
Curse, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts on my end. Not to say that gaming's back, but it's good to see that we have like an onslaught of games from various companies coming out within the next like 12 to 18 months. So there's going to be things to play consistently for the next little bit. So wherever you're playing, play it, have fun with it, and play it for yourself. And I will say, if you didn't think you liked the trailer, do some more research. I think people often will watch something, but oh, the game looks terrible, and they won't give it the time of day.
I've learned this year just to play games because I never would have played Helldivers, and then I was like, oh my god, that game's great. So I don't know, man. There's a lot going on, and Jesus, August is going to be disgusting.
God,
Like, what are you gonna play? Because everything comes out in August.
I need to send up my red flare gun because I need Nintendo to do something. So please just do something. That's
They're
not
gonna have a new
Luigi's
console.
Mansion HD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
new
they're gonna
console's
do
going to come.
They got a new
It's
console.
gonna be,
I know.
it's gonna be a
just-
lot.
just tell me about it, man.
I'll say this right now before like my additional final thought. Nintendo, when they do their whole like direct thing for the Switch 2, whatever it's going to be called, it's going to be all right. Here is the Switch 2. Here's Metroid 4. Here's like another Zelda
Mario
remaster
Odyssey
you know
2.
about Mario Odyssey 2. There'll be at least 5 to 6 games that you forgot that you needed, and that's going to be day one with the Switch 2. I guarantee it.
And then you won't need anything else because they were like, well, we'll see in a couple years. You're
Yeah,
fine.
that's it.
Yeah,
Princess Peach Showcase 2 launching on the
And
Switch too.
they'll drop a couple Pokemon games that are not that good, but everybody's gonna buy them anyways. Because my daughter's already turned into, Daddy, this is the same game. Like, oh, honey, it's just you
yeah,
gotta catch
honey,
a
it's
ball.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Although, isn't the next one supposed to be like Legends
Very
of
good.
Arceus
Yeah,
type?
another Legends game.
Which like Legends of Arceus ruled. And I'm not a big Pokemon person.
My daughter is. I have a whole Pokemon shrine over here beside
I know.
me.
I gave her cards and she didn't even care.
No, because
Yeeted
she,
them
you know,
into the
Dad,
sun.
she was like, they're all basic.
I painstakingly
Windy.
took a picture with Eevee for those.
I know, right? It was tough.
She's already at that stage, Kirsten. When she gets cards, she's like, "Oh, these are basic."
These aren't Super Max, Snorlaxes.
Yeah.
Good. Going after the
Trash.
chase card. I respect it.
Yeah,
It's funny because I actually have like cards that just open on my desk right now.
of course you do.
Let's go. Also expect if the Celtics win, I will be portraying myself as a Celtics fan and saying we won. And
No.
if they don't, then
Nope.
they lost and I was not
Okay,
invested.
how are the Celtics going to lose to the Dallas Mavericks team? Kyrie Irving is a bum, and the
Correct.
Mavericks are bum.
I had to
Correct.
explain to my daughter today that Kyrie Irving thought the world was flat, and then I had to show her a picture of the globe to tell her why
How old is
she's
she?
that wrong.
Did you see that? Do you see how mad
She's
he
like
was with-
4, isn't she? And you're already
No,
going into
she's
flat
5.
Earth conspiracies with your 5-year-old.
I was like, she's like, why is
see
he a
how-
bum? I'm like, because he thinks the earth is flat. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, so here's where we live. And then I'm like, here's a picture of the globe. And I'm like, see how it spins on an axis?
Kyrie Irving got mad because the Boston Celtics fan base didn't give a shit that he was playing. Oops, sorry. That was the first time I've
womp
ever
womp.
sworn on this
What?
podcast.
Oh,
It was at the very end. That's easy to cut out. But like, I laughed
cut
because
it out.
he was like, he gets in an interview. He's like, they didn't even boo me. It's because they
Yeah,
don't even
no,
care
'cause-
about you
yeah.
anymore, man.
They're over it.
But so I don't watch a lot of basketball. I've been watching the finals, and I'm gonna be a Celtics fan for about,
No.
I'm gonna let people know about it. So
Man, the
if you
Panthers
are
are
a Dav-
trouncing the Oilers. Trouncing.
Yeah, I can't watch hockey. It hurts. But
Just get Omark's value up.
yeah, right. So go
Get it up
Celtics.
there.
If you folks had fun, please make sure to hang out with us. 3dadsconsole.com. You can check us out
Yeah,
at
it's 11
youtube.com.
minutes
3
past
dads
my
and a
bedtime.
console. Sorry, that's what good thing.
Tell
you're
us in the
James
comments
Frog
why you
chair.
want to play Hunter x Hunter fighting game.
Yeah, let us know who your favorite Hunter x Hunter character is in the comments below. And
Mine's
yeah.
Hunter.
Jesus Christ. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Kurston, for joining us. Where can folks find you when you're not hanging out with us?
They can find me streaming on Xbox Canada Twitch at twitch.tv, so whatever Xbox Canada, or online at Cave on Doom on the Terrible Bird site at _ Cave on Doom. Just doing internet gaming things from time to time.
Excellent.
You have a new
Also,
podcast?
I
Jesus.
do. I have a new show called Very Okay Show that I'm
You're
new at
welcome.
this. And yeah, so Very Okay Show where me and my buddy Omar, we talk about current events, sports, games. It's not amazing. It's not trash. It's just very okay.
Sports games. Here we go.
I
They
love
talk about
sports games.
anything, dude. They ramble. It's good.
Oh, I love a good ramble. I'm in.
It's
Yeah.
rambling.
I'm in. I love a good
Well, thank-
ramble.
Thank you, folks, for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Miss you. Say it back.